Mailbag day. Time to do some mover mailbag stuff, but first, got a little package in the mail. Won't talk about this one today. It'll actually be in a video soon, but I've got a bunch of mail to open for the mailbag, so let's get started, and then I'll explain this in a future video, but check it, it's pretty awesome.
3, 2, 1, flight off.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's Mover, CW Lemoine. Welcome back to the Mover Mailbag. Little teaser at the beginning there. Gonna open that up soon and hopefully get some videos. I'm really excited about that, but I'm not gonna spill the beans just yet. So we've got a whole bunch of mail, hopefully COVID-free and anthrax-free, and probably anything else. Just kidding, it's all been screened, I think. And a couple emails and answering your questions. If you want to send me something, everything is now in the description. So you can go to my website, the contact form, which I'll leave a link down there, the P.O. Box 8594, Mandeville, Louisiana 70470. Or if you want something specifically for the Mover Mailbag, use the Mover Mailbag link, which is movermailbag@cwlemoine.com. So let's get started with your letters and emails and all the nice things you guys have sent. So we got a bunch of packages. COVID's done. All right, this says, C-Dub, imagine my surprise when I opened your 620 mailbag video on Father's Day and heard you read my note. I have no challenge coin to send, so I'm sending you this memento from 2 of my rated supplement years. In those days when the Air Force had too many pilots, returning pilots from Vietnam were rightfully given priority for flying assignments. The rest of us were assigned to the rated, what does that say? Rated something. This is a handwritten note, so sorry if I can't read the handwriting. And assigned non-flying positions. Glad to have avoided the RIF. I was assigned to the Strategic Air Command as a no-experienced new captain, flight commander of security police flight guarding Nukes. SAC had 3 code words for nuclear infractions depending on their severity. Dull sword for deficiency, bent spear for an incident, and broken arrow for a nuclear incident, just like the movie. I inadvertently caused a dull sword, which, although it was the least severe, was still quite serious. The master sergeant I was working with to resolve this issue told me he thought I'd make major out of the whole incident. I couldn't believe what he'd said, so as I just pinned on captain, he said he'd been talking to the folks of the numbered Air Force, March Air Force Base in California, and everyone there kept saying, if he keeps up like this, he's not going to be a captain very much longer. That is funny. Again, you needn't read this note on your show, but if you could just say something like, read your note, got the badge, thanks. Well, I read the note because I think it's awesome, and let's check out what this is. I think I got my trusty knife here. Oh, wow! Cool! It's a real security police badge. That is awesome. With your badge number. Ah, that's awesome. Thank you. That's cool. Look at that. I don't know if it's going to focus on it or not. That is cool. Yeah, I'm going to use this now. Go impersonate security forces. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, next letter. Thank you so much for that. That's awesome. That's a really cool story. Did you end up making major? Well, now I'm curious. What was the end result? Yeah, well, anyway. All right, this next one. There, people with the handwriting letters. All right, yo Mover, what's up, man? I have no idea what to say or where to start, or even if I should start to say anything at all. So I guess I'll start off saying thank you for your service. To clear things up, I'm not against law enforcement. I think you know that. Not too happy the judicial process, but at least it is some kind of structure of order in this world. Better than other countries. Unfortunately, I've made myself look like an ass on the internet. That is intentional by the something and some things and some other words. But I learned the hard way, which is one of the ways I learn, unfortunately, and that's a stick figure. But the internet is one hell of a tool. I was going to write before the COVID thing, Chinese virus thing. Just watched the other Mover mailbag and can finally send a letter. Didn't want to send anything over the net. Should have done this a long time ago. P.S. Tell everyone I said hi and thank you. Glad you made 200K plus subs on your channel. Folds of Honor got some exposure. Feel free to write back. P.S. This is a dumb question. Is there any chance at all I can fly a jet? I mean, damn, I have talent. I am very grateful. Doesn't have a name. Well, whoever you are, thank you. Sorry, couldn't necessarily. It's literally a handwritten letter, so there's a lot to it. But thank you for your letter, and I'm not sure what the. Thank you for watching. We'll go with that. Say something nice. This feels like a. This is from Betsy Ross, who made our flag. So thank you for that. Actually, didn't Sheldon on Fun with Flags say that that was actually a myth? All right, what do we got here? Hi, Mover. My name is Brett. Oh, Brett, not Betsy. I see. I've enjoyed all of your Spectre series books. I read book 4, Executive Reaction, in a day. It was a record for me. I grew up reading Stephen Kuntz, Flight of the Intruder, and Dale Brown, Flight of the Old Dog, and Dreamland series. I like how your books were just a little bit different than those. I also read some of Dan Hampton's books. I would like to see Spectre and Sandman dogfight. Since you had an F-35 in one of your books, here's JSF Challenge coin. It's just a generic F-35 coin, not associated with a squadron. I used to work as a flight test engineer on one at Edwards Air Force Base. Oh, that's pretty cool. I have a 2004 Z06 Corvette that I track. Are there any courses that you would like to run on? May I suggest Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, or Barber in Alabama? I'd like to do Road Atlanta, but CODA's cool too. I'd like to do both of those. Finally, I enjoy Movie Ruins movies. Here would be some of my suggestions. Flight of the Intruder, that is very widely requested. Final Countdown, that's on the list. Definitely going to happen soon. Firefox, yep, it's on the list. I've never actually seen Firefox. I'm going to have to do that one. And Iron Eagles 2 through 4. Yeah, Iron Eagle 2 is definitely on the list. Thanks for creating great content and writing exciting books. And this is his Fat Amy coin, F-35. Yeah. Probably terrible at making this thing focus, but it's an F-35. You just take my word for it. Check this out. It's a poster. Operation Enduring Freedom, Bagram, Afghanistan, 2006 to 2007. CIB Lemoine Mover, Go Guns. Check that out. Daniel Flores with Sandra Parisi Keels at South of Heaven, My Year in Afghanistan. Look at that. Signed poster. That's pretty badass. And no, he didn't just willy-nilly send this to me. He actually contacted me through Facebook, so finally got it. And he sent me his book, which is South of Heaven, My Year in Afghanistan. All of a sudden, I felt the full blast of wind coming off the Chinook's rotors. Rotor wash nearly flipped me over as it slammed me back on the ground, a hail of rocks that were also being picked up and thrown around by the rotor wash. I quickly lowered the collector to the bottom. The entire aircraft was shaking due to the tremendous wind being generated by 2 Chinooks taking off in front of me. Talk about an eye-opener. I sat on the FOB for another minute while I looked around the canopy of my aircraft for any damage caused by the rocks that had just sprayed us. I asked the lieutenant if he had any damage that he could see. He said no. The lieutenant, who was just out of flight school, asked me what had just happened. I told him that was a lesson learned from then on. We had to do everything possible to stay away from downwash generated by Chinooks. We made a quick check of everything to depart the FOB. We made a beeline to catch up with the 2 Chinooks up to the north. This is... He's in front of an Apache. It says, CW Lemoine Mover, thank you for your service. Really enjoy flying Hornets and Vipers. Fly safe. Go Guns. CW4. Daniel Flores. In late 2004, this is the memoir of his year-long tour of duty in Afghanistan. Boy, I can't wait to read this. This is awesome. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a good book. He works for United States Customs and Border Protection Air Interdiction. That's also what he does. I think that's pretty cool. Thank you for sending me that. Like I said, I'm looking forward to reading it. And he also sent a Apache keychain. So this is about the Apache keychain, which is awesome. A bunch of patches, custom CBP, Air and Marine, CBP patch, a Coyotes patch. coyotes, and more coyotes. That's awesome. That is great. Thank you for sending that, and as soon as I get a chance to read it, we'll talk about it on the next mover, or one mover mailbag, so definitely, hopefully, do a review there. That's awesome. All right, a big one, so to speak. The risk of anthrax may be over, I don't know, we'll see. What in tarnation? You guys send some stuff, man. What do we got here? Oh man, look at this. This thing's wrapped. What in the... Whoa! Cool! It's a Viper. Look at that. It's awesome. High quality pencil renderings of aircraft and autos. Cody F-15 at SBC Global. It's Red Wolf Illustrations. That's awesome. Is there a letter? Is there any kind of thing? Like, oh yeah, okay. Hold on, but wait, there's more. Look, Tomcats. Yeah, that's cool. Tomcats. Another Viper dropping JDAM. Two of them, actually. See what it says. Dear Mover. Hey Mover, what's up? My name is Cody. I've been following your channel for about 2 years now. I want to say your videos are not only very informative, but also incredibly inspiring. Your passion for not just aviation and writing, but also cool toys and things that go fast in general is inspiration to young men everywhere, and your commitment to the service of others is rare and unfortunately something I believe our society is severely lacking. I was recently medically DQ'd and denied a waiver from ROTC after years of trying to get in, which, as you can imagine, was a tremendous blow, given that all I wanted my entire life was to fly for the Air Force and serve my country. But hearing your advice and making them tell you no and pursuing any obstacles to your goals to the highest authority has inspired me to not give up and attempt to appeal this decision. I'm sure I'll get pushback at every point and probably be told to eat crow, but I'll continue to press until there are no avenues left and hopefully be successful, even if that means serving in another capacity. Plan on picking up some of your books in the near future. Thanks again for making awesome content and taking time out of your busy schedule to help everyone like myself aspiring to serve our nation, our communities. Looking forward to more great stuff from your channel. P.S. I also happen to be somewhat of an artist and thought you might like a couple fillers for your wall. If you're looking for any art for Folds of Honor, I'd be happy to donate some to your support the incredible cause. That's awesome. Maybe we can do a giveaway or something for some of this stuff for Folds of Honor. That's a good idea. See if there's anything else in here. Seems like there was a whole bunch of stuff. What's this one? Dog. A10. Very talented. Very talented work. It says Facebook/Red Wolf Illustrations if you want to go check him out, or at Red Wolf Illustrations on the Twitter. That's pretty cool. Really good stuff. Thank you so much for that, and I hope that you get a waiver. Also, don't forget there's the guard, and then there's off the street, OTS, OCS style things you can always do. So don't give up hope just yet. ROTC is not the only game in town when it comes to being a pilot in the military, and there's also, as we've seen, flying Apaches in the Army. So that's cool. All right, this one is from across the pond. At least that's what it says, Royal Mail in the Great Britain. So see what this is. Wow, it's like a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, cool, race car. Let's see that. You guys are really nice. Send me all the C7. Is this C7R or C6R? Yeah. C6R, I think. Right? With the headlights. Awesome. Got an. Yeah, that's the C7R. Ah. People send all kind of cool stuff. And then here's another one. Oh, another Corvette. Yeah, that's the C7R. So that was the first one was the C6. There we go. Let's see what the note says. Hi there, CW Lemoine. I hope this letter finds you well. Been watching your channel for a good time now. Really like the content and the down-to-earth way you present it. Certainly enjoyed you picking up your new car. Having worked in the motor trade all my life and spending the last 6 years in McLaren before I retired, you could say I have an interest in cars. That is awesome. Really cool. I love taking pictures of motorsport, and I've included a few pictures you might like that I took at various times at Silverstone Racetrack over the years. The large poster is one of only 16 I had made when I was working at McLaren, automotive, not F1. Most handed out to workmates. Not sure if there's something you would want, but feel free to do whatever you want with them. Large poster of the McLaren 650S GT3 crossing the finish line at Silverstone. You then have two pictures of Corvettes taken in different years during the WC race, and a picture of another 650S GT3. Final small picture was taken at Le Mans 24-hour race a few years ago. Hope you like him, Paul. Paul, thank you so much for sending that. That's awesome. Really cool. You guys are so nice. I mean, really. I'm very humbled and very appreciative for what you do. Let's take a couple email questions and then we'll wrap this up here. We got 3 questions that I have flagged. This is from Gianni. Greetings, Mr. Lemoine. I'm Gianni, and I'm going to apply to the Air Force Reserve to fly fighters as soon as the pandemic dies down. I do not currently have any flight experience or a pilot's license. I know this has been covered in your videos before, but I have 2 questions about it. What would you say my chances are for getting accepted to fly a fighter, even though I don't have a pilot's license? Just a percentage would be nice. Also, would you say I'd have better luck applying to the Guard or Reserve, taking into account that I don't have flight hours or prior experience? Thank you for your time, consideration for these questions, and giving us all of us aspiring fighter pilots confidence and advice. So there's basically a hierarchy, right? So if you're talking off the street, officer training school to active duty, doesn't matter as much. Off the street, unsponsored to Air Force Reserve, probably doesn't matter as much. When you talk about specific Guard or Reserve units, which is most fighter units, it does matter more to have at least some flight time, because you're competing against other people who will likely have it. That's not to say it's impossible. If you've got good scores, good GPA, when you go to the unit, you know, you've got a good attitude and they like you, it's obviously not required. But I highly recommend just getting yourself to the point of solo if you can. Because that'll be your best chance. Maybe do some Civil Air Patrol if you can. That's a good way to maybe get some air time and stuff. And if you have Civil Air Patrol on your resume, that can help mitigate that. But yes, you can apply. You're not going to be as competitive, but you still have a good shot. It's not required at all to do that, because you know it's not part of the prerequisites. It's just desired, not required. So good luck. Push through it, make them tell you no, and rule number 1, don't be a douche when you do that. Okay, this one is, can I get a waiver for age 42 years old and vision? Very much enjoy your YouTube channel and all the fighter pilot stuff. Always dreamed of becoming a USAF fighter pilot, but for various reasons did not pan out. I'm 42 years old now, have a career as a research scientist, and after hearing you speak about all possible waivers one can get to become a fighter pilot, still wondering. Believe me, 15 years ago, there's no resources like your channel. Speaking of recruiters, did not give me any hope, needed a vision waiver, wasn't a citizen at the time. Plus, there wasn't a shortage of pilots like we're experiencing today. I have a PPL with over 300 hours, and I'm second lieutenant in the Civil Air Patrol, where I really enjoy flying search and rescue, WADS missions, and almost military-style flying. In your opinion, given the pilot shortages, is there any way for me to become a USAF pilot? Not even talking about fighter pilot, doing military flying in a C-130, C-17, or even an HH-60 would be amazing. Do some of the platforms like the C-130 or C-17 allow older candidates like me, given the pilot shortage? I'm not interested in building time to jump to the airlines. Is it even a remote possibility to get a waiver for my age and vision? Know of any USAF pilots who are in a similar situation? Any advice much appreciated. Okay, so whole bunch of stuff to unpack in that one. I have heard of guys and gals in their 40s getting picked up. Very rare. A couple things with that. Number 1, I'm 37. This isn't a young man's game, by far. Do I think at late 30s I would want to do it? Probably not. I mean, I'd do it now because it would be super easy and barely an inconvenience. But see, if you get that reference, let me know in the comments. But at this point in my career, would I want to go through OTS, and do all that stuff? Not really. Is it possible? Yes. Is it very uphill? Yes, more so than anyone else, because now you're talking, you're 42, they get a 10-year commitment out of you, you're 52, and, you're just a major. It's a very tough sell. Not to say that it's impossible. To address, and the way you get around it is you just have to go to the unit and convince them of why they have to fight for you to get an exception to policy. I think it's going to be exceedingly tough. I usually try to be as positive as I can, but in this case, I think it's really, really uphill. As to your other question, there is no pilot shortage when it comes to applicants. That's wrong. There is no shortage of qualified people that are trying to get in. There is a shortage in production, and that's on the UPT level, which is being addressed through various methods. There is a shortage in retention, which will probably no longer be a shortage of retention as the airlines, start to not do so well. But there's no pilot shortage, and there's not enough, even if there were, of a pilot shortage to make those kind of huge exceptions as far as, sending a guy just to C-130s because he's older or whatever. If you are qualified, if the waiver is not aircraft specific, so if you are qualified, if a C-130 unit will hire you, then a C-17 unit will hire you, then a fighter unit will hire you. There's no difference. It's not like the C-130 unit's going to be like, oh, we're desperate, we can't. It's not going to work like that. So I think it's rare. If you prior enlisted, I think there might have more of a shot, just because if you're within the unit, they tend to want to work with you. But as far as off the street, I think it's going to be tough. And your question about, I think being in the Civil Air Patrol and having a PPL is really going to help you. I think the hiring process is going to be the same, whether it's a Pave Hawk, because they want good candidates too, or C-130 or an F-16 or whatever. So, and it just depends on what your vision is. I mean, you're saying you need a vision waiver, but for what? Is it something that's not even going to be waiverable? Is it color blindness, for example? You can't pass a color vision test or whatever. But the only thing you can do, it's free. Apply, put your packet together, go take the AFOQT, go take the TBAS, make them tell you no. Try it. Be the first person that, at 43 or 42 that gets hired and goes to pilot training. But I would sit down and actually think if it's something, like do some research and find out what the job is and see if it's something that you really even want to do. Just because you're getting that second win doesn't necessarily mean that it's right for you at this point in your life, because it is a program designed from start to finish for 20-year-olds, not for 42-year-olds. So, and you've already got an established career as a research scientist. I just hate to see you put that on hold to go chase a dream that maybe, you might have passed that age for. So anyway, that's my opinion. If you want to do it, make them tell you no, but just realize what you're getting yourself into, and it's going to be a very big uphill battle. This comes from Aaron. Hello, Mover. I wanted to start off by saying thanks for all the great content. I'm new to aviation with no prior military experience, but I recently decided I wanted to become a pilot. Currently pursuing a PPL, that's private pilot's license, in case anybody's wondering. I know I mentioned that on that last one, but PPL is a private pilot's license, or as they say, certificate, because there's no licenses. Still in the beginning stages of that and studying for the AFOQT TBAS, so you're right on the right track so far. I'm thinking of attempting to go for the Guard, but wanted to ask you if you think I would have a really low chance of getting a fighter slot due to my age. Just curious on your thoughts regarding older applicants. Keep up the great work. Thanks again, Aaron. Now, compared to a 42-year-old, you're in a good spot. 30 is, it's on the upper end. 33 without an exception to policy for the Air Force, 32 for the Navy, and they go up to 35. I think if you have flight time and you are, good dude, and your scores are good, your GPA is good, you've got some life experience, I think it's a good shot. It's going to depend on the unit, and it's going to depend on, you are competing against everyone else, so it's going to depend on the other applicants. They might have 2 slots. And if you're competing against a bunch of 23-year-olds that have higher scores and better flight time, then it's going to be rough. But if you're going to a board and you're kind of average in there, and you've got a really good personality, and they really like you, and it's a really good fit for the unit, then I think it's a much better proposition. So that's my thought. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you everyone for sending me all this cool stuff. I'm humbled I'm constantly humbled by how awesome you are as fans, and just the reach that this channel has gotten from all over the world, apparently. So thanks for everything. Hope you enjoy it. Next week, Monday, I'm going to do a reaction on the Chinese ACM video, which should be pretty funny. I'm sorry, very serious and tactical. Tuesday is more flight vlog stuff on the Hilo vlog. Wednesday will be, I hope, fingers crossed, I think Top Gun will finally be released from copyright prison. So it'll either be Wednesday or Thursday on that one, I'm not sure. Thursday we'll do another Hilo vlog, and then Friday might do memes. I don't know, we'll see. We'll change it up. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope you guys are in good health, and you're just hanging in there with all the stuff going on in the world. Thanks for watching. Make them tell you no. We'll see you next time. Excuse me. Oh, no. Oh! About a lot of that. Perfectly fine with the doors off. All pots too. Don't be a douche. That's rule number 1. Make them tell you no. Okay, here we go. Here's another letter. And then we got actual packages, so very popular today. And this is, whoa. Oh my God, what in the world? What in the actual... Why? What? I don't... Yeah, I'm not... I don't know what that means, but... Okay, cool. All right, let's get to the packages, because that is a manifesto of some sort.